Take a look at these two expressions. On the left, we have n double factorial, and on the right, the factorial of n factorial. They use the exact same punctuation, but are they actually the same thing? Let's put them to the test with n equals 3. 3 double factorial gives us just 3. But 3 factorial factorial? That is 6 factorial, which is 720. Not even close. It gets wilder at n equals 5. 5 double factorial is only 15. However, the nested factorial explodes to 120 factorial, a number with nearly 200 digits. Same symbols, but completely different rules. So, what exactly is the logic behind that double exclamation mark? Let's dive into the true math of the double factorial. To understand what a double factorial is, we first need to look at the standard factorial we all know. Take 6 factorial. We calculate this by multiplying every single integer from 6 down to 1, resulting in 720. In a standard factorial, our step size is exactly 1. We hit every single integer along the way. But the double factorial follows a different rhythm. Instead of stepping down by 1, the double factorial jumps. It is defined as multiplying every 2 steps. So, x double factorial is x times x minus 2 times x minus 4, and so on. We are still descending, but we're moving twice as fast through the number line. Let's compare them side by side. 6 factorial gives us 720. 6 double factorial is just 6 times 4 times 2, which is only 48. Even though they start at the same number, the double factorial is significantly smaller because it skips half the factors. This skip counting creates 2 distinct chains. If you start with an even number, like 6, the sequence always ends at 2. If you start with an odd number, like 7, the sequence ends at 1. For example, 7 double factorial is 7 times 5 times 3 times 1, which equals 105. Now we can see why our original question had such an explosive answer. 6 double factorial is a modest 48, but 6 factorial factorial? That is 720 factorial, a number so large it has over 1,700 digits. To derive the continuous definition for the even branch of the double factorial, we must first revisit our mathematical anchor, the gamma function. By definition, the factorial of x is equivalent to gamma of x plus 1, which is expressed as an integral from 0 to infinity of t to the power of x times e to the negative t. This integral provides the smooth, continuous framework we need to extend factorials beyond discrete integers. Let's look at the product for an even number, denoted as 2k. The double factorial, 2k factorial factorial, is the product of every even integer from 2 up to 2k. If we pull out a factor of 2 from each of the k terms in this sequence, a beautiful structure emerges. We are left with 2 to the power of k multiplied by the standard product of 1 through k, which is simply k factorial. Since k factorial is just gamma of k plus 1, we can substitute our integral directly into the expression. This gives us open parenthesis 2k close parenthesis factorial equals 2 to the k times the integral of t to the k times e to the negative t. To finalize the definition for any even x, we set x equal to 2k. This reveals our general continuous form. X double factorial equals 2 to the power of x over 2, multiplied by gamma of x over 2 plus 1. We can verify this formula with a few examples. For 6 double factorial, the formula simplifies to 8 times gamma of 4. Since gamma of 4 is 3 factorial, or 6, we get exactly 48, matching our discrete calculation perfectly. Moving up to 8 double factorial, we have 16 times gamma of 5. Gamma of 5 is 24, and 16 times 24 gives us 384. The logic holds. The even branch of the double factorial is now fully integrated into the continuous world of the gamma function. The derivation of the odd branch is significantly more elusive because there is no common factor of 2 to pull out of the sequence. Instead, we must look at the fundamental relationship between the standard factorial and its two subsequences. The full factorial of 2k contains every integer from 1 to 2k, which we can think of as the total set of factors. This set is composed perfectly of the product of all even numbers and the product of all odd numbers. By rearranging this logic, we can isolate the odd double factorial as a ratio, the total factorial divided by the even branch we derived earlier. This is where the math gets sophisticated. To turn this ratio into a single, elegant integral, we must invoke the Legendre duplication formula. This is a heavy-hitting identity in complex analysis that relates a gamma function of a full argument to the product of gamma functions of half arguments. Essentially, it allows us to unfold the 2k factorial in the numerator and cancel out the k factorial terms hiding in the denominator. This process bridges the gap between the whole steps of the standard factorial and the half steps required for the odd double factorial, inevitably introducing the square root of pi into our formula. To verify this, we can test it against 5 double factorial. When you plug 5 into this integral, the resulting gamma of 7/2 generates multiple fractions of pi and square roots that look messy at first. But as you multiply them out, the radicals cancel each other out with surgical precision, leaving us with the clean discrete integer 15. In summary, we now have a unified mathematical framework. Whether x is even or odd, it can be expressed through the gamma function. These two branches share the same core behavior, but they follow two distinct paths depending on the parity of x. Thanks for watching.